Hey, this is TK Irish at the Camp Kennerk podcast. And today we have a special episode called What Were They Thinking? Now, the reason why we came up with this subject is because I was watching the March Madness final game the other night, and there was a little ad that came on, and it said that if anybody during the game dunked the basketball, that you could go to Wendy's the next day and get a small French fry and a Frosty free. Now think about this. Does this have disaster written all over its face? How many people are going to show up? Do they have enough Frosties? Do they have enough French fries? Well, results have not come in yet, but I did some research and I just want to tell you about some other situations where people thought they had a good idea, only to backfire. The first culprit is McDonald's. That's right, Ronald McDonald. So they were running a promotion in Japan, and the promotion was is that in 2006 they were going to give away 10,000 MP3 players to customers, with fully loaded with 10 songs. You can download, but the problem was one little problem is that they also loaded a QQ, what they call a QQ Pass Trojan virus that actually captured all the user information and sent it to hackers worldwide. So all that happened when they plugged it into the computer. So I guarantee you there's 10,000 folks in Japan that aren't necessarily loving McDonald's right now. But hey, what were they thinking? Now, of course, we have to go to Pepsi. Pepsi's a fine brand, but this one day they had this idea and they thought, man, this is going to be great. And they were going to kick off the New York Yankees opening day by handing out 250 pairs of tickets for the opening day. But as it turns out, when the Pepsi rep showed up at Times Square's, instead of having 250 pairs as promised, he showed up with 100 sets of tickets, and they were for a game about 4 or 5 weeks later, not the opening game. So it's New York City, it's Times Square. They don't have a very good sense of humor when it comes to free tickets for the Yankees. So mob scene broke out. Angry fans are yelling, Pepsi sucks, and they were pouring cans of soda out on the street, and they got on the news. And well, once again, there's probably a marketing man out there with his resume trying to explain how he didn't have his 250 pair of tickets. But hey, what can you say? In theory, it worked. In actuality, it didn't. But here's one. This goes back to 2009. KFC advertised an offer that guests could go online to get a free coupon for 2 pieces chicken meal. 4 million people downloaded 10.5 million coupons. So you don't have to be a math major to figure this out. They ran out of food, the riots broke out, and KFC spent $42 million to cover the cost of the food that they did give away for the 10 million coupons. What were they thinking? Free food? KFC? Once again, it looked good on paper. But then we have another one here. Carl's Jr.'s. It's a fast casual kind of restaurant. They came up with in 2009 promotion where they could they could get their famous hamburger for $2.75, but you had to have a coupon. So there are 276 winning contestants who text their passcode to all their friends. And in 48 hours, well, you can imagine 2 people tell 2 people, 2 people tell 2 people, until they found out that later hundreds of websites were posting the URL and the passcode for their free food. Well, the company caught it and shut the promotion down, and hopefully it didn't get anybody fired. But you just got to think things through. What were they thinking? So Doug the neighbor, we love talking about other people's misfortune, but as you know, I spent nearly 50 years in the marketing and advertising business, and I'm going to tell one of myself. I had a client, a very good client, had been in for 25 years, and we were they hired me to design a promotion. Uh, did the promotion, and we botched it bad, bad. So client calls me. Now I've known this guy for 25 years. So always calm, always collected. And he is yelling. And he is yelling. I got the phone out to here. He is yelling. This goes on for 10 minutes. I'm thinking he's going to, hyperventilate or something. And finally he says, Tom, what do you have to say for yourself? Joe, shoot low the riding Shetlands. Well, there's silence. And I thought, I'm fired. He starts laughing and laughing harder and harder and harder. He says, that is the funniest thing I've ever heard, but I have no idea what it means, shoot low the riding Shetlands. So, you can't be pointing fingers at the other person if you haven't done it yourself. Doug, neighbor, do you shoot low when you're riding Shetlands?
DK, so good to see you. I have no idea what you said. What do you mean? Shetland ponies? Shoot low? What, we're hunting Shetland ponies? Where are we? What sort of society are we? Shetland ponies are so cute. DK, unbelievable. It's always good to see you. And I've got my Austin snow globe here. We're shaking it, and guess what's going to pop out? Okay, first off,
Dr. Pepper.
you got your Dr. Pepper? I got
I
my
got
Dr.
my Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, okay. You were talking about promotions for fine products. Well, we get to announce today that we have our first sponsor, Cracker Box Popcorn from Blunders, Wyoming. Do you
Oh,
have your Cracker Box right there? There
that
you
right here. Got the
Yes.
real deal. I have to put a lid on mine because I can't control myself. I have no self, what do they call that? It's the self-esteem. Well, I don't have any self-esteem anyways, but I don't have any
Self-control,
self-control.
self-control, yeah.
Self-control.
But we have our first sponsor with Cracker Box Popcorn from Lander, Wyoming. Yes, and they sent us the Camp Kennerk style popcorn, which we certainly appreciate. And Maxine, who we did a Happy Camper interview with, is a real nice gal. And we found out that she does not do emails, or excuse me, she does emails, but she doesn't do, what do they call it? Online promotions, online business.
E-commerce, Douglas.
E-commerce, yes.
Yes.
So we're going to help her out because we just did our numbers for the quarter and we have 37,000 listeners for
For
the
this quarter, for the first 90 days of this year.
Yes, and we are growing fast. And so, because Maxine is just so sweet up there in Landers, Wyoming at Cracker Box Popcorn, we are going to help her. And she's one of our first sponsor. We're very appreciative of this. And so, but our art department kind of suffers. We have no money. So, I did this, which is called a billboard. Okay, because it has all the information. Cracker
Lift it up a little bit, Douglas. A little bit
there
more.
you there, a little
There
bit
you
more.
go.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
All right, it's Cracker Box Popcorn, and their phone number is 307-335-7020. And you ask for Maxie, and she will give you a smile, and you can order up some really, really great popcorn. And we appreciate having her on as a Happy Camper and her great product that we are our first sponsor. This is really something.
And just to clarify, she'll take your order and she'll take your money and she'll send you the popcorn. Because if it was Doug the neighbor and I, we would take the order, we would take your credit card, but we'd eat the popcorn and then we'd get all types of things happening. So
Yeah.
just that's the procedure. You call, you buy, she sends.
Yes, yes, that's good. That's absolutely true. Now, that's a very interesting situation because she makes it work, and she's been doing it for a long, long time, and it's a great product. Now, I've been moving from the old Possum Trot Studios to the new Possum Trot Studios. So I've been in here and I'm going through everything that I have. Now, I have a small video of something that just didn't last. Okay, it has to do with a swing line stapler I had since 1981, and I've got this video here of this stapler. It just didn't last from since 1981. Okay, so we've got that little video.
TK, something of interest. When I first got to New York City as an actor, you have a headshot, a photo of yourself, and you staple your resume of all of the projects that you've worked on the back. And when I first got to New York City in 1981, I bought this stapler, just a basic swing line stapler there. Okay. And then refills on staples over a period of time. And this box, I, for some reason, labeled it 81107. Well, the stapler finally jammed up really good, and I tried fixing it. So out with the old, in with the new. Cowboy Blue here at the Possum Trot Studios. Okay. All right. Take care of yourself. They don't make things like they used to.
Well, Douglas, question, where did you store this stapler? I mean, you've been a man around moving around here and there. So I'm not, questioning your story or anything, but it's very interesting.
That's a good word. But now I've got a cowboy blue stapler. Watch the video, folks.
What else would you want in life?
What else do you want in life? To answer your question, I kept it on my desk.
Okay.
Yes. Now, on a more serious note, TK, we did a podcast a couple of weeks ago concerning on March 29th, the day I had a anniversary of the day I had a heart attack, and went to Breckenridge, had the heart attack. I face planted. The emergency services hit me with the cattle prods to get my heart going. Purple as a smurf. Went to Breckenridge Hospital and then went to Seton Hospital. And we forgot to mention the most important person, which is Dr. Hunter Kirkland. He is the heart surgeon who gave me the zipper. Here it is. There's the zipper right there. And gave me a Quadro, which replaced all four of the veins around my heart. And we have a video concerning Dr. Kirkland.
He's very impressive. There's no doubt about it. I mean, yeah. Gotta be smart, first of all. He did something that you and I did do. He went to class every day.
Then he went to medical school. Then he went to become a heart surgeon.
Yeah. We used to make jokes like, what are you gonna be, a heart surgeon? But he did.
He did, yes. And not to make light of this man's reputation, he saved my life. He saved my life. But the original people, the angels who performed CPR there on the street, those people are angels, and very, very grateful for them. And more people need to go to the Red Cross or the American Heart Association and learn CPR. The more people that are in our society who know how to do CPR, the more lives that are saved in Texas. 50,000 people a year in Texas have heart disease and heart attack, and 20,000 of them don't make it. And so if we can have more people on the street in our community who know how to do CPR, our world would be a lot safer. And the best place to learn is the American Heart Association. There's offices all over town. and then there's the Red Cross.
Yes.
Learn.
And I did some additional research, and they also have online tutorials, like on YouTube.
Yes, they
So
do. Yes, they do.
that could be another option if you're tight on time, and to do it. You can get your information that way.
Yes, absolutely true. Well, TK, always good to see you. That's what I've got for tonight. Play ball.
Aaron, go brawl.